Hello Jeep people, today we're going to be talking about rock rails. If you take a Jeep out into the rocks and are playing around, you know having rock rails is a very important thing. Otherwise you are looking at imminent doom on either side of your Jeep if you happen to come down on a nice hard rock that is tougher than your Jeep. So you see here, this is the standard rock rails that come with the 10th anniversary Rubicon. I think they also come with the Rubicon X. They may come with other special models, I'm not sure. But since getting the new shoes on the Jeep, you'll see here that our rock rails are very close to our tire. I actually had to take off the plastic cap that was on the edge here because, just daily driving, it was rubbing up against it. So before I take this off-road again, we're going to have to make some adjustments. We're basically going to trim off a good portion of this rock rail right here and then bolt it back onto the Jeep. So I'll show you the underneath of the rock rail. Basically the location where we're going to unbolt it from the Jeep, and then we'll take it off, we'll give it a cut, and mount it back up. Alright, so here we are under the passenger side of the Jeep. This is the rear. This is the section that we're going to cut off here. And there's going to be a total of 3 bolts and 6 nuts that we're going to take off. So you'll see 1 bolt, 2 nuts here. And as we work our way out towards the center of the Jeep, we're going to have that same setup, 1 bolt and 2 nuts. And then towards the front of the Jeep on the passenger side, same setup, 1 bolt, 2 nuts. So we're going to remove all of those in order to detach our rock rail from the passenger side of the Jeep. So before I take the rock rail off the Jeep, I do want to go over what I plan on doing. So obviously we need to clear enough space here, right? I need to be able to cut off enough of this piece of the back of the rock rail that's rubbing up against the back tire here, and give it enough to be able to flex without any future rubbing. This is the plastic piece that was removed off of the back. You'll see here it's some significant wear from the tire that actually had taken off the bottom piece. But I do plan on reusing this. So the goal here is to cut the back of this rock rail enough and in the same pattern to get this cap back on, to give me enough space to let the tire flex without hitting the rock rail, and to mount it back up. I'm going to try and cut it right before this seam here for the weld, for the bar that's actually attached to the rock rail here. Alright, so first we're going to remove the 6 nuts that are holding the rock rail on. This is going to be connected to the side part of the Jeep. This is the pinch seam area here. So you're just going to use, I got a 10 millimeter ratcheting wrench, or you can use a 10 millimeter socket if you got one small enough to get in here because it's a tight space right here. But whatever your favorite 10 millimeter tool is, you just use that and take the nuts off. Alright, now that we have the 6 nuts off that connect the rock rail into the side of the Jeep here, we're going to work on taking out the 3 bolts that connect to the underside of the Jeep. So for this one, you're just going to use a 13 millimeter socket and just take them off. Alright, now we have the 6 nuts and the 3 bolts removed from the rock rail for the Jeep. Both the rear, the center section, and then up towards the front of the Jeep. We should just be able to pull the rock rail straight out and remove it from the Jeep. Alright, now that we have the rock rail removed from the Jeep, I want to show you, this is the area that we're planning on cutting here. So again, right behind the seam for the bar that mounts to the actual rock rail piece that connects to the Jeep, we're going to cut this basically straight through. And we again want to use this cap. So the cap, really simple. This just pops on and off. And then we want to keep this same straight line across so we could just reuse this cap. Alright, so we're able to cut off the piece. It measured out right around 1.5 inches. Piece of metal that we cut off of the end piece here. And you'll notice that we cut again right after the weld for the bar that connects to the rock rail. We're able to put the clip back on. Got a little bit of spacing here. You can see it wasn't cut perfectly straight, but I'll just come back in and get some sealant and fill that in to stop any debris and water and such from getting in there. A recommendation when you're mounting the rock rails back up to the Jeep is to tighten down the two nuts first. That will bring the rock rail in snug close to the Jeep, and then you don't have to worry about trying to figure out where this lines up. So just bring it nice and snug. You'll see I have all the bolts, all the nuts on. The bolts are not yet on. And now we're going to go ahead and mount up the bolts and firm up the rock rail back to the Jeep. Alright, trim is complete. You see we got our rock rail mounted back on, and you see we gained about 1.5 inches from that piece of metal that we cut off. So we'll see if this is going to be enough space to help prevent any rubbing when flexing on the rear axle. So now we're just going to do the same thing on the driver's side rock rail, rinse and repeat the same actions, and we should be good to go.